I'm trying something new here tonight. The MT7 platform, Mobius Trader 7. And I just didn't really think there'd be something that would look as cool as that did something unique. And this is what I've been looking for: is the bid-ask chart. And behold, the 15-minute bid-ask chart, which I will show you why stop entry can brutalize your account. And somebody's asking about Albert Brooks. Yeah, watch this video. How many people that can trade that stuff? Like I said, my problem always is that I'm thinking, yeah, I could put a buy stop above and get filled. But then again, why? Why don't you just get the fuck in the market on some level? Just get into the trade. Like I said, if you're buying a 1K with a 100 pip stop, it's not a very painful event. So if you're trading a demo, you could still be psychologically damaged by being wrong. And some people wouldn't care because some people are real. The problem with trading is that you're trying to make money. So you're thinking about money instead of whether you can risk incrementally. And I'm sure you would, if you had a $10,000 account and you didn't put a stop in, you're incrementally going to lose. Okay, you could still go underwater and not blow up the account. There's so many people define losing as being in a losing position, so they would say, why add to a loser, which is completely stupid to say, because are you really a loser, or are you just in it down the spread? And if you study this Mobius 7 demo, because I don't have any scripts for this thing, I guess you can write them. The code looks strange, but I just pasted some empty fork code in there for kicks, and I got yellow triangled. But what's really interesting here is I can see the bid-ask spread, and I can see a bid candle and a ask candle. And this is why it is so deceiving when you look at a normal bid chart. And if you are going to buy, or you're going to place protections on your sells, and people say, well, they're stopping me out. Yeah. Look at how brutal the gap is on this 15-minute. This is Eurodollar. There's some brutality here. I mean, this ask doji is tighter than the bid doji, which is very interesting. Here's two super tight ones, and the spread is tight. And the movement of the ask from session to session, so it's pretty complicated. At this point, it is better to have the candles, because now you have such a dramatic, you can see what's really cool is the line chart. Now, a line chart is going to look just like a tick chart in this Mobius 7, MT7. That's what they're calling it, which is really cute, because I saw it on the site and I said, MT7. So I asked the guy, what's MT7? He says, that's our platform. Okay. And so I'm like, MT7? I thought MT6 came before. No, they're like, fuck MT5, fuck MT4. But this thing is like the worst. Well, I guess it's good in a way. It's also Russian. This has the most smallest amount of choices you could possibly have on a platform. There's only 3 color choices available. I'm sorry, 2. White background. You can't even change the color of the candles as far as I can see. Maybe if I left mouse click, I haven't gotten that far. No, wait, I gotta get on dry mode. But I mean, it's like the worst. It's the worst charting software. I can't even change. The only thing that's fucking mind blowing on this thing, which I stumbled across just a minute ago, and I said, "Holy shit! There it is, the holy grail of charts." This is bid in the ask. So if you want to get that really good entry, yeah, this is what you're looking for. That okay, if you're gonna sell, you're gonna know. Okay, I'm selling that bid, but look at the ask. My stop has to be monster wide. And from open to close, and from, if I go for the bar, but it's called build bars by, bars built by. And you could have put the bid below on a chart, separate chart, and the ask above in a separate chart and done like a stacked. And you could have your sells on the top, on the bottom chart, and your buys on the top chart, or place them there and think about that. But that's why it's so complicated. I think that's why trading is complicated if you're scalping, because if the spread is 3 and your take profit is 5 and your stop is 3, if your stop's 3, you have 0 pip stop. So you're so close to but that's really where the least amount of risk is. So to try to make 600 pips on one ticket without getting in and getting out, it's actually holding some position like that. The 150 pip stop, yeah, you can make 600 pips with a 150 pip stop in 3 weeks and go, look at, see, there you go. Now, you could trade once, you could get into a trade for 21 days. Well, of course, Fibonacci, 13 days. So yeah, the whole 8, the 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, on and on. I put the fib on here, actually, the Tony Plummer fib on here, the 4, 2, 3, 6, but I'm just using it for the ordered banks that I would place. I'd probably just hand place them in here. I can manually place them in here, and I don't know if I can have a set. They do have a one-click up here, so I can set this to a 1K. Right now it's set to a 10K, which is actually $100 on this platform. This is a nano account. You'd have a hard time blowing this up. There's $6,000 in here. I mean, you could blow it up, but you have to work at it. You also have to work at making money too. I mean, what would be funny is that, how about a contest where it's called how can I blow up a demo? I would say, well, you put on the biggest position possible, and it's so big that you've used all your margin or whatever the broker is going to supposedly let you. Like, there's a limit, and if you put a position on this right up to the limit of your leverage, then a few ticks against you and you're gone. So if you risk half the account, you'd have to put stops in, because if you can't tell what half the account is. Was that when you're halfway underwater? It's just, I don't even know what people are talking about. When these trollers come by, have they even traded a demo? So they say demo. Well, this is like I've said a million times, playing guitar scales is not exactly a big lush party. It's just kind of a rudimentary muscle memory. You see it, you hit it, you don't even think about it. I mean, if you had to think about what you were strumming, so you want to get to the point where you're just like, yeah, okay, this looks like it's tank, and should I jump on the short train during the dojis? Is it worth the ride? Oh, this is a 15-minute chart, by the way. And here you could see that in hindsight, you can see if you got filled on your buy, where you got filled on your buys, and how far the market had to move before you made money. So this is the ultimate back test, so to speak. This chart, and just right here, I can do my whole trade system here. So if I'm going to get in on, and this is a true, as far as I know, you can also test stuff on here. And so maybe it is going to take into account the spread on the back test. I don't know. But a small bar breakout, if you put in, oh shit. I think I'm freaking out the platform. Oh, it's updating. Just when I drew on it, see, that's just, I thought I was causing something. Let me take this over to the most amount of bars I can get going. So here's the magical fib tool. I just left it keeps trying to edit it for me here. But if these were my stops, so to speak, I don't have an equal amount of tickets for. But if I bought on a Fibonacci compression ratio, just hodgepodge, it doesn't matter. The whole point of Fibonacci is that you've picked a number that is not 50 or 150 or 200 or 250. You didn't pick a linear number. You picked some fancy pullback number. I get it. You know, you're like real clever. Well, he's clever that way. And you don't even know how to use a fib tool. Well, you'd use it however much money. Say you put it on here, you had 0 at the bottom of the wick, and I put 100 at the top of the wick. I mean, does it really matter? In other words, I would take this small. It's amazing how this will. Watch what happens here. It's so magical. If I put it on this one candle, wick to wick, and you'd say, look how can you say Fibonacci doesn't work? Look how it's right there. And look at this number. Look, the 618, it turned right around there. And I drew it on the wicks, and it's showing up on close. The really cool thing about this tick chart, I mean, this is really a tick chart. Look at the spread on close. Candles is pretty cool. But look at this brutality. Even if you pulled the trigger, this is it. The line chart bid ask. Even if you pulled the trigger here, you had to pay this much. Wow. And here you're losing money. At this point, the bid's down, and you can't even add to a loser here. This is the crushing thing. If you have a buy stop sitting here, it's not until here it gets filled. The pullback in the ask, you got a triangle. See? Lack of spread is the entry for the robot. So the algo would say, I'm looking for tight every 15 minutes. Trailing buy stop on ask, but not if the spread is wide. Well, here it's, let's see. It would filter out this one. And it would get in here because this is a tighter spread than this. And I guess the candle's probably smaller too. I don't know, but because that's just closed, so it's very complicated. I think the market extremely complicated when you look at the ask and the bid. Then it's like, holy shit. And this is beyond. Well, I guess it's depth of market in a weird way, but look at the 5-minute chart. And now it looks like you could not run a buy stop system here unless you waited for that spread to tighten up. So you got a triangle formation as it starts to triangulate, and then you get this double bottom in ask. And if you have a buy stop pending here every 5 minutes, and it only puts it in it doesn't put it in until the spread gets like tight like this. Tight, 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 super tight. And so, well, look at this. Look at this buy stop. If you had a buy stop here, and they came and got you here, and then here comes the bid, and they crush you out. How about that? So if you switch back between the candles, which includes the whole range, and here is just the prices as they come down, so you can see if your ask was here, if your limit was here to buy the ask, they did not fill you because this never got in. So it may look like, okay, this is why you have to pay up for this shit. You're either going to be a goober and place your buy here, buy stop here, and say, well, here, you had to get the fuck out of here. So if you buy this red line, you have to wait for this line to go above this price. So you're only in profits here this much. Because the 5-minute chart, and I know people want to trade this thing, but you got to watch that tick chart. Wait till the spreads get tight and then hit that. You got to be a sniper for that. If you put a buy stop here, a buy limit here, it did not fill. You had to have a buy limit, and that's why I'm saying on the not true on the 4-hour chart, but here it is. If you put buy limits here, you definitely got filled, and you got filled a little bit deeper. That one order that was just a little bit deeper got filled. This one, so they're actually coming deeper into the vacuum just to fill you on the ask. Because if you put so if this is the vacuum, the bid vacuum, you have your ask order sitting here, your limit entries, and they filled you. So you can't be so precise. Well, here, see, if you had sell limits above the ask, you did not get filled. You had to have sell limits here. And then here comes the market up and fill you. But most people aren't looking at the ask and the bid. Only in this world, and then you would have to just imagine it there. You can see it in the, I told MetaTrader to give me the spread here, the bid and ask running. And if you pay attention to that line, and okay, I'm filled. That's why there was this guy I met on the Skype one time. It's like 3 or 4 years ago, and he said, well, you make more money if you sell than if you buy. I go, how's that? Well, he goes, because when you sell right now, if you take off this bid, this ask price, he's like, look I'm already up on the fucking trade. Whereas when he was buying, he was like, shit, I'm down the fucking, this sucks. They're filling me bad. They're not getting me a good fill. So he thought when he bought, he was buying the bid. And that's why he said when you sell the bid, dude, you're already, but your exit that he couldn't see is take profit. So that's a big distortion, and the broker always defaults to bid only. You'll see when you load MetaTrader for the first time, you never see the ask on the tick chart. You got to turn it on. So I wouldn't say it's a trick, but it's not exactly helping. And maybe it's just they don't give a fuck. They just put the defaults in there. But it is a bitch. Plus, standard lot is the first. It's ridiculous. But standard lot was it. There was no such thing as nanos or micros or even anything, or mini accounts, which is 10Ks. There was the mini account. So for a long time, there was that. And the leverage wasn't that high, really. I don't think in the beginning. 401 was kind of like down the road there, down the middle. Most people had that. And then 500 to 1, and then people went nuts. There's 888 to 1 over at Trader's Way, which used to be Trading Point, and then there's it was just on and on, broker upon broker. So here you would have, if you would have put your buy limit here, and let's say, you could see that as you look back here, I can't even fucking paint out there, damn it. But I think you see what I'm saying here, that you definitely got filled and then some. And if you put your buy limit here at the basement of the bid, you got filled. So you can see here, you got filled. At the 2618, like I told you, this fucking Fibonacci works all day long. But yeah, I'm really interested to try to write a script for this thing. It does say there's script stuff. You call them algorithms here. And but there's no info. I'm at their website now. Documentation only goes into indicators. They're claiming that they've been around for 4 years or something. But yeah, if anybody knows about Mobius Trader 7, yes. So put a link down there for the Mobius Trader 7 because it's running on 64-bit. Although here's the downside. Take a look at how long this chart takes to load for a different time frame. I mean, it's like forever in a day. And MT4 is lightning fast and has all sorts of insane features for charting and templates. But here, I don't know how to crack the code on this and build a custom template. I'm missing something critical. So if I look at this, if I zoom out, it's kind of slow even zooming out. Because this is a 15-minute chart zoomed out. Then we have I'm going to go for a different time frame. Watch how long this takes to load. You could just go get coffee and come back. Really? Now, if I go to the monthly, and it's already preloaded. The first time loaded, look at this. Hey, you want to, our anniversary is come and gone. Well, look at that. How long have we been married? I don't know. Honey, I'm loading the monthly chart. Just hold on. Oh, wait a second. Oh, let's go out for tea. I'm putting the daily in. I mean, Jesus. Maybe I'm impatient, but... And then if I go back to the monthly, it's not even in cash. It's like, oh, yeah, let's go on that siesta. What the fuck's going on here? And then I can't... There's no delete all objects for me. That's real... I'm just addicted to the cushion of MT4. And here's the 1-minute bid-ask chart. The punishing reality of the real world of Forex. And this is cool. This is a 1-minute tick chart, really. Look at how brutal the spread is here. And here's a nice, you could be adding to a sell here on this 1-minute chart with, look at this beautiful double top with tight spreads. And then here it gets all wonky. Let's see if I can go to the 5-minute chart. Oh, let's go for T first. Oh, wait. So look at this. Look at this thing. How brutal, huh? I don't even think I want to look at the candles so much. Although look at the wicks, and you've got a bid wick and a ask wick, a bid wick. So that's really out there, isn't it? It kind of makes you just realize how punishing the data between this, how brutal the spread is. Here is the 1-minute candle bid-ask chart. But here you can see, it's hard to see the fill for me, but what I'm fascinated is that the doji is different for the bid and the ask. And also the spread between the bodies, small dojis with huge gaps, and then there's the big candles that are engulfed. The ask is engulfing into the bid. It's pretty wild. That's 1-minute candle, and here's that punishing spread here. Now, if your robot's like this Ryan Brown's apparently, and it's got a buy stop here, look at the punishment. It's very, very. I wish there was a. I have to dig into see if there's a color, another template. There's no. I haven't gone for the forum yet, but I was just kind of giddy. I found this. Here we go. 9:30 and 30 seconds here. There'll be probably a huge reaction here. I want to go to the half-hour bid-ask chart for kicks now. And we got 20 seconds to get there. Had to get out of drawing mode. Oh wait, we won't be there in time. Wait for the chart to load. What the fuck? Wait, I better move these fib handles because the market's gonna see them. Oh shit. Just in time. 5 seconds to spare. Wow, look at this thing turn on a dime. Let's go for that 1 minute chart. Oh wait, it's gonna take a minute to load. Hey, look at this thing ripping. Wow, look how that thing's just vicious. Spread is nasty. This to me is a better view of the spread, plus the structure. Beautiful. But see, this is why you have to donate at least 1.5 pips. So if you put a 1K in every 10th of a pip, you're putting in a 10K in a 1 pip zone. So without repeating the price, so here you can see, wow, I picked up on, if you put a 20K in, 2 pips apart, you're going to cover a 4 pip range, which is pretty big. And it crushes in and maybe only fills 3.5 pips deep. So they just, the bulls, the robots or algos that run a trailing stop on the bid. Stopped out. Notice the ask, if you had a trailing sell on ask, and you can write the script like that, actually, you can say, you can write the robot like that. So the robot is paying attention to ask only for his entry, and also what another filter is, it pays attention to the spread. So as soon as the spread, although the spread looks tight here, it's really the end of that session there. It's not, it's kind of distorting how, well, it seems tight here, but you've only got this. And when it tops out, it does get wide there. Here's obviously wider than that. So this is nice, but if all of a sudden your algo says, well, if we get filled here, we're going to run a trailing stop here, that's not good. So a lot of people just cashed out here into this. So if they, where are the bid guys gonna get out? Here and beyond, right? They're gonna cashing out all along the way. This is a 1 minute chart, so you can study the behavior here. It's a winning trade, Joe. Look at. Came back to here, but not the ask, just the bid. So fascinating. MT7.